Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Frauder Autrius Horse here with Lance and Grail Priory TTO. And we're up to episode number 16, I believe it is. Old School Aleister Crowley. I've got a few things here I am super excited to open up tonight. I've been holding on to a couple of these for a couple of months now. So, without further ado, let's get started. Let's see here. This comes all the way from the land down under. The beautiful country of Australia. What do we have here? I've been hanging on to these for some of these for a while, so I am super excited to finally get to bust into them and check them out. And, the title of this video is Old School Aleister Crowley because these are some reprints of original Crowley books. Figure out how to get into this sucker. Okay. I have to say it was definitely packed well. You know, I thought when I first got this box, the outer box, I thought that this is a lot smaller than I was expecting, and now that I'm getting into it, it just keeps getting smaller. I have to be careful here, make sure I don't cut into the book itself. That would be a tragedy. This came from Magickal. I don't know if you can see that well, it's got some shine on it. Antiquarian Booksellers from Adelaide, Australia. Kind of makes me wonder how this book ended up in Australia to begin with. Let's see, let me quick glance at the invoice here. I had this, this was shipped September 30th, so, and I'm currently making this book, or this video, on December the 3rd. So I've been waiting to crack into this for a couple of months now. And here we go. A facsimile edition reprint of Konx on packs. Looks like we have it in a Mylar sleeve. We got a little bit of bump damage there. This is the Teitan press facsimile edition. Got a little bump here up on the corner. But other than that, it's in great shape. Some, what is that? The Led Zeppelin Zoso symbol? It's the facsimile edition by the introduction of Martin P. Starr. Love these books that are in two colors. Originally published in 1907 in a limited edition of 500 copies. First facsimile edition with introduction, published in 1990 by Teitan Press. Wonderful. This is, I have this in a little red reprint edition paperback. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. It's even got the original imitation. 500 copies of this book printed on handmade paper, each number copied and signed. Yeah, that would be nice to have an original one of the first 500 copies printed and signed by Crowley. Of course, that would be extraordinarily expensive. I always thought this was a bigger book. Yeah, I've never actually seen a facsimile copy. There are, I believe, a couple of pages here that have writing on them. I think I just saw them flipping through here. Yeah, here we go. There's a couple of pages where somebody had written some notes, which personally to me, I think adds to it, is more so than subtracts from the value, because it's always fascinating to see what people thought important enough to write in here. It is in pencil though, so no big loss there. Otherwise, it's in impeccable condition. When was this? When was this printed again? I forgot. 1990. So this is what, 31 years old now. Like I said, I never had I have never seen an actual copy of this before. It's a lot smaller than I imagined. There's some slight bumping here on the bottom corner. You know, that's not terrible, but you know, it is in a Mylar wrap. I think, yeah, there is also a white version of this with a gold text, if I'm remembering correctly. What is actually in this edition? Let's see. Dedication and Counter Dedication, The Wake World, Ali Sloper, Thane Tau, and the Stone of Abigneus. Nice. Beautiful coffee, beautiful coffee. All the way from Australia. It took it a minute to get here too. Right after I ordered it, they put a lockdown on packages leaving Australia, so it sat in customs in Australia for about 3 weeks before they put it on a plane. Let's hear. Doggy had a fun and sound footed in the whirl, and fleecing mangled fled, then wed the girl. In 84 they rooted weenies at the Earl. Okay, I have no earthly idea what that's supposed to mean. Doggy had a fine and sound-footed in the whirl, and fleecing mangled fled, then wed the girl. In 84 they roasted weenies at the Earl. I have no earthly idea what that's supposed to mean. Awesome. I don't care. That still looks like the Zoso symbol from Led Zeppelin. I like it. I love it. I just never realized it was so small. That's beautiful. There's Konx on Packs by Aleister Crowley. Teitan Press. Facsimile edition, 1990, with an introduction by Martin P. Starr. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, the other one came in a huge box of other books that are for an upcoming video. If everything goes according to plan, it will actually be the next two videos, which I don't want to spoil, but they were all in one big box wrapped in paper bags. So I'm taking a guess that the one I'm showing off next is going to be in this package, I hope. And I am correct. There's also, the other book I have in here for the next video is still sealed in plastic. Okay. Let's see what that is, because I'm excited about that. We're going to take the one for this video out and set it aside just for a second. Ooh. Nice. That far exceeds my expectations. But if you want to see what this is, and I will tell you, it is a nice, thick, heavy tome, still sealed in plastic. You'll have to come back for the next video, or the next video or two. If everything goes according to plan, I just don't have enough room around here to do what I need to do. If everything goes according to plan, the next couple of videos are actually a two-part series, so stay tuned for that. The second edition I have to show off tonight is a facsimile edition of Crowley's Goetia. This is pretty too. This is the Goetia by Magickal Childe. This is beautiful. I've never actually seen a facsimile edition of this in real life either. I do have at least one, probably two, of the paperback re-editions. I don't have a... This is Magickal Childe. This has got to be older than Konx Unpacked. Yep, 1989. Wow, this is a nice one. First edition. Bear with me a second. I'm going to cut that AC off so it doesn't make so much background noise. Okay, I'm back. I realized in a earlier video I made that the air conditioner sounds a lot louder on the video than I thought it did. It is December the 3rd here in Northwest Arkansas, and I've had to turn the AC on. It was 77 degrees today, and believe it or not, there is a blizzard advisory in Hawaii. No shit. There's a blizzard advisory in Hawaii, and it's 77 degrees today in Northwest Arkansas on the 3rd of December 2021. What the hell is going on? So, back to the Goetia. I've never had a actual facsimile copy of the Goetia. This was first published by the Society for the Propagation of Religious Truth from Boleskine Foyers, Inverness, Scotland, 1904. Facsimile edition, 1989, Magickal Childe, New York. So, you know, nothing super special. It's a copy of the Goetia. I should say a copy of Crowley's edition of the Goetia. Well, you have a little advertisement here for some other books by Magickal Childe. Oh, look, there's a little spoiler maybe for the next couple of videos on the these pages here. I won't totally spoil it and give it away, but I will say that the next couple of videos I have coming up are related to and involve an author listed here on these two pages. Wonder who that may be. I'm going to go through and look at some of these books and see the Introduction to Chaos Magic by Adrian Savage. I've never heard of that before. Alexander Lectures, I don't think I have a copy of that. The Necronomicon Spellbook by Simon, interesting. Magickal Childe Video Collection, really? Oh wow. Go back and take a look at these advertisements again. What are these, in VHS, I'm assuming? It doesn't actually say. Fascinating. See Horrible Herman Slater, Witch High Priest and Order of the Magickal Childe. Discourse on the basic precepts and differences of Wicca and Satanism. Ooh, I bet that's cool. I bet that's hella cool. Meaning Witchcraft by Gardner. Necronomicon Spellbook by Simon. Witchcraft Fact Book. Alexander Lectures. I bet that's pretty cool. I'd like to get a copy of that. Look at some of the prices on this stuff. Granted, this was 1989, but I mean, come on, man. I bet copies of some of these books are going into multiple hundreds of dollars. I'm going to have to look up that Introduction to Chaos Magic. Because I have Magickal Spellbook by Herman Slater. Can you just imagine what it was like being around back then? Wonder if that Voodoo Gnostic Workbook is a hardback or a paperback. $30? I bet it's a hardback. That would be nice to have. Sexual Magic by Randolph. Pagan Rituals 3. That's fascinating. I mean, on top of being valuable as a facsimile edition of Crowley's Goetia, I mean, just this here is amazing. I mean, talk about, I mean, this is a look back into history. The books that Magickal Childe was selling back in 1989 and the prices. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. What can I say? Just give a little flip through here again. The Book of Goetia of Solomon the King. Edited, verified, introduced, and commented by Aleister Crowley. I mean, this here alone is beautiful. Probably paid a little bit more from this than I should have, but you know. And here we go with the preliminary invocation. the Bornless Rite, or some know it as the Headless Ritual. Harper Feist just did a lecture Monday on the Bornless Ritual to Librasonic. So, it should be uploaded to the OTO Grand Lodge YouTube account, or at least that's what they told us. So definitely, if you're interested in that, go check out the OTO Grand Lodge YouTube page. It was a great little lecture by Harper. It was very enlightening. Thee I invoke, the Bornless One, thee that didst create the earth and the heavens, thee that didst create the night and the day, thee that didst create the darkness and the light. Thou art Osarnophorus, whom no man hath seen at any time. Thou art Eobos, thou art Eopos, thou art distinguished between the just and the unjust. Thou didst make the feminine and the male. Thou didst produce the seed and the fruit. Thou didst form men to love one another and to hate one another. The formula, the fameless, Bornless. Interesting thing about this, as Harper points out, it starts off as an exorcism and then turns into an invocation. It starts off as adoring the God outside of oneself, and then it becomes adoring the God that is oneself. Here, dear me, I am he, the bornless spirit, having side and feet, strong in the immortal fire. I am he, the truth. I am he who hath the evil should be wrought in the world. I am he that enlighteneth and thundereth. I am he in whom is the power of the life of earth. I am he whose mouth ever flameth. I am he, the begetter and manifester unto the light. I am he, the grace of the world. The heart girt with a serpent is my name. And of course, Crowley's famous essay, An Initiated Interpretation of Ceremonial Magic. I think everyone that gets involved with magic should read this, if for no other reason, to give yourself a firm grounding in the psychological model of magic. I highly recommend this essay to any and every magician who is not ready yet. And we get into Goetia. We have the 72 seals of the demons and the Shimham Mafarash. Nice. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. Next we have a very large box for one book. I'll start off by saying this is by far my favorite Crowley book of all time. I stumbled across this on eBay one night, and took me about 2 seconds for me to decide, you know what, I have to have a copy of this. And let me get it open here, and I will further explain why I felt so. Very well wrapped in bubble wrap. You know, I do appreciate people that pack books extremely well. What is it here? Oh, nice. Ooh, nice. Look at this. Let's see here. Let me refresh myself on the... You know, I wish they would print what you paid for some of these books on their invoices. So, I like to stick my invoices in the books so I can remind myself in the future what I paid for some of them, should I ever decide to sell them. But, this comes from Desert Isle Occult. This is one of those, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, my cats are over here on the floor playing with the boxes I've opened. Especially Mocha. She absolutely loves boxes. I think that cat was born in a box. I don't know how to describe it. It's that weird kind of I almost want to say it feels like skin. The texture of this. I don't know, it's not quite like leather. I don't know how to describe it. I think just by saying it feels kind of like skin. Like smooth, soft skin. Those of you that know what I'm talking about will know what I'm talking about. This comes from a Desert Owl Occult. Look at that. That is pretty freaking cool. I don't care who you are. This card that came in this is pretty freaking cool. Love it. Love it. And we have my favorite Aleister Crowley book of all time. The Book of Lies. This is also protected by a Mylar cover. It's not in terrible shape. I mean, it has signs of wear, especially here on the corner, the top. You know, it's not mint condition or anything. But once we open it up here, we'll see why. This book originally sold for $7.50. Can you believe? Samuel Weiser, 1972. This book is older than I am. Only by a year, but it's still older than I am. The reason I got this is because, well, as I said, this is my absolute favorite Crowley book of all time. But I also, a couple of years ago, got a first edition hardback copy of Magic Without Tears from 1972. It's either from 72 or 73. I think it's 72. And I also have a copy of the Blue Equinox from 1972, printed by Weiser. So, other than that, you know, it's your standard copy of Book of Lies with the commentary. If you have a hardback edition of the same cover, I mean a paperback, a modern paperback reprint of the same cover, it's the same book, nothing special. It's not limited or numbered or signed or anything. You get a copy of 777 for $10. Just wanted to get a copy of this because it was on eBay, it was for sale, It was a 1972 edition, and it was a hardback. This is my favorite Crowley book. I love this book. There are some other books available from Weiser. Book of Thoth for $12.95. Meaning of Witchcraft by Joe Gardner for $6. Apprentice to Magic by W.E. Fuller? Butler. W. Butler for $4.50. Kabbalah by Isaac Meyer for $15. Traditions of Magic by William Gray for $6.50. I'm willing to bet every one of these is a hardback. Not gonna venture a guess how much $4.50, $6, and $6.50 were back in 1972. But I'm sure that's kind of comparable to what a new book costs today. Lovely. Like I said, it's not mint condition, but I am still very happy with it. This will definitely go beside my 72 first edition hardback copy of Magic Without Tears. Lovely. And I have saved the best for last. This is a book I have wanted for a long time. And it's not the extremely super rare limited edition of it, but it's not exactly easy to find, and it is definitely not cheap. But it is a book. If I can get it out of here. It is a book I have wanted for a long time, ever since the first time I saw it. And I certainly hope and expect it to live up to my expectations. Mocha has found a way to worm herself into a box over here. I wish you could see this. It's hilarious. Again, definitely very well packed. I'll figure out how to get into it here. Release it from its binding. It's kind of half the fun of doing these videos is unboxing them, and I do put chapter marks now. I actually went back on all my old videos and added chapters, so if you just want to look at me showing off the book, you don't have to watch me take the time to unbox and unwrap everything. But you know, you do miss out on the sometimes witty and humorous commentary. But if you don't want that, you can definitely, you don't have to hear me talk while I'm unwrapping things. Okay, I think it's enough to free from the plastic here. And we have the Book of the Law. Not just any book of the law, the 100th anniversary illustrated edition, or I should say illuminated edition of the Book of the Law. This is 300 of 500 copies. The first 31 contained a signed engraving by the artist. This edition has been published to celebrate 100 years since the reception of the Book of the Law. I am just happy to have a copy, period. I mean, if you could find a copy of the 31 with a signed engraving, more power to you. I'm sure that is way more expensive than this one was. Not that this one was cheap. Don't even think this was cheap. But a copy number 300 of 500, published in England. Again, we have two color here. I'm going to get a lot more color here once I start flipping through it. Ever since I first saw this, I have wanted a copy. And I was finally able to get a copy for a price I was willing to pay. So we have a nice introduction here. Nice heavy grade paper. It's kind of a smooth. It's very thick. It's got a nice introduction here. And we're going to get into the illumination here. Look at this. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? Every page. Oh, look at that. Every page is illuminated. Oh, look at that. Freaking-tacular. Love it. Wow. Definitely worth what I paid for it. Definitely worth what I paid for it. Beautiful. Love the art. Fantastic. I like the little pictures of the scribe here recording it. If you, there was a couple on some earlier pages. The hawk. And of course we have the facsimile of Libra 31. And this is actually at 93% scale. As it was dictated in the Book of the Law, that all printed copies should come with a copy of the original in the hands of the beast. For therein lies a greater mystery. Yeah, so not only is this the 100th anniversary edition of Liber Alvil Legis, illuminated in all its glory. It contains the manuscript of Liber 31 in 93% original size. This is gorgeous. And then edition number 300 of 500. Beautiful red end papers. A beautiful green cover. It is in immaculate shape. Beautiful. I am super excited. Super happy to have a copy of this. Super happy. I have wanted a copy of this for a long time. And here it is. Well, everyone, I definitely hope you enjoyed the video. We have a Book of the Law Illustrated Edition. We have a facsimile of the Goetia. 1972 hardback of Book of Lies. And a 1980, 89 was it? Let me double check that. 1990. 1990 facsimile edition of Konx on Packs. Get them all in frame there if I can. This has been episode number 16. Old school Aleister Crowley. I hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing you back next time. If everything goes according to plan, episode number 17 and 18 is going to be a two-parter. Don't want to spoil it for you. But we've got a lot of stuff to unwrap and talk about in the next two episodes. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Love is the law. Love under will.